from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. It's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Takes it at the 7. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Jones. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So the Eagles now, they'll be in great position here to start things out. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
And that is caught. What a catch at the 3-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
First and goal from just inside the 5. Back to throw here. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Greg Ward, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Eagles on just 2 plays have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Throwing Jones. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And fresh off the pick-6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out at me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Now Jones on first down. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and second down. To throw again on second down. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Back to throw. Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. 4th down, Daniel Jones exits, and the kicker Aldrich Rosas enters from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Rosas' kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
This is unbelievable.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. LaShawn McCoy as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Parkey with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here on New. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. He'll throw from the gun. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Parkey adds the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. fielded right around the 8. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Jones now from the gun on third down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Man, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And the Giants send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. On the return is Ward. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. That catch good for only a couple.
These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the Eagles who got the win on the road. So now they look to finish off the sweep here in Philly.
From midfield now on 2nd down. Hurts. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Goes right back to Smith again.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd down and goal. Hurts to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Hey, 4-1's Mike, 4-1. Come 19, come 19. 41's coming, 41's a Mike. You're trash, you're trash. 41's the Mike.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're... And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry a rhythm from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
There we go now as they will again try for 2. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Eagles,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say